Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Loop Hero. This is going to be the self-professed super chill episode, our second one of this series. I'm just going to grind a few resources out by going through Act 2 this time, probably as the warrior just because I'm more comfortable with him than the other two classes. I know we always seem to play warrior, but I just feel he offers such a breadth in strength that it's really hard to lose early on. That being said, we did lose a run earlier on today to it was like Animated Armor, who had been given a quest, so that really sucked quite a lot. But again, interesting synergies and other things that you just have to bear in mind for this game. So what resources are we looking for? Well, really it's metal and stone. So stone's used for bridge, metal for alchemist tent, but also when you look at the upgrades, for example the cemetery, we need tons of stone. So I'm going to start picking up skills that help us pick up more resources as a focus. I feel like we're strong enough right now to start looping through Act 2. If we're not, maybe I'll drop back onto Act 1 and just continue on. As I said, I'm trying to pick up lots of resources here. I'm going to try and not unlock anything this episode, so let's get out of Act 3, back into Act 2. And I just want to amend our deck slightly. So Smith's Forge I'm going to take out. I actually quite like the card, but the enemy it summons is so dangerous. So basically every 5 times it takes an item off you, it summons this Animated Armor, and he can only take 1 HP damage at a time, and he has 10 HP, so you have to hit him 10 times. But he hits pretty hard for those 10 times. You're almost guaranteeing yourself you're going to be taking like 500 damage off him. And if he gets hit by the experience buff of a village, well then he will gain the plus 200% HP and just be a pain to kill. So Blood Grove is coming back in. We can just wipe multiple enemies out across the board as the warrior. Damage to all will affect the rat wolves at this level. We're also going to take out Desert because I don't really rate the card too highly. I'll keep in River, Temporal Beacon. Oh, actually I will keep Temporal Beacon in. I was going to say I'll remove it, but it's good enough. I think I might hold on to Wheatfield, but I'm not sure if the HP gain is really worth it. It does mean we have to fight Scarecrows, which aren't too bad. Maybe I take out Spider Cocoon. The other one I'm not sure about is Bookery. And I don't need Road Lantern for certain. I mean, our solid runs normally have ruins. Let's try take the Wheatfields out and use villages in front of the ruins. And I think I'll have Spider Cocoons in. Keep Temporal Beacon, that's fine. The Treasury is kind of pointless for us, so we won't use it. We could use Storm Temple to help us. I'm not against that. Yeah, this looks quite fun at least. And again, I'll use Arsenal for now. So, what else was I just going to say? I said I don't really want to focus too much on the game in this episode. I just want to have some chilled out discussions. Maybe we'll focus on the game a little bit more as like we get under danger of dying. Oh, another resource I would like to get is this Orb of Mortalities, which I think is just from beating bosses. So let's pick some of them up on our run as well, because they are used to stop us losing all the items. And there's this mirror which I wasn't able to pick up on the last run, which made Storm Temple have a 6% chance instead of hitting us, reflecting on an enemy. And that sounded really neat, and something I might look at exploiting in the future, but sadly we lost it, so if we can pick that up again, that'd be nice. But I don't know if loot is specific to the acts. But without further ado, let's get into it. As usual, we have our generic armour, and I'll equip the arsenal. We should feel the game being much easier. Let me just pause it so I can equip the arsenal, and that can go around the boss fight, that's fine. We've picked up our first Spider Cocoon, and this can affect these 3 tiles here. Spiders are pretty easy for us to kill right now. So why am I doing the super chill? Well, one, I think it'd be a bit tedious for most people who were watching this video to really just focus on like the story and the progression. As I said, I think this game has these loop moments where we really need to just survive for now. And to survive, we need to get little benefits that we can only get from our home. But to get these upgrades, we need to keep like improving our buildings. And so far into the game, I feel like we've generally been doing quite well with this. We've just slowly upgraded things over time, but now we're getting to the end game, at least in terms of like the progression. It's costing more and more loot to manage these small changes. I've quite enjoyed the supply addition to the quality of the game, and we should be more selective with the supplies we equip, to be honest with you. We can pick and choose which ones we want in and to remove, but at the moment we're just basically throwing everything in there that we've got. We have items now which I think will be more beneficial to us than the ones we have equipped. Ooh, a nice early village. Go there, go there. Currently I'm just holding on to these meadows for no reason. I should probably start just placing these along this side. I'm planning on winding the river around. I don't know if you can join it back up to the beginning. That'd be quite neat to find out as well. The last time we did this, we filled the map out, so I'm hopeful for filling out the map. But I really want to upgrade thickets with this. And this grove I will put here to summon a blood grove there. But yeah, so the other reason I wanted to super chill right now was, as I said, if you're just into the progression, we're going to make none of it today. We're just going to loop around, pick up resources. I don't know if we'll learn anything. Admittedly, last time we found a synergy just by accident, which turned out to be quite nice for us. But this time, we're taking a pretty like bog standard alt deck. We shouldn't find anything. So, as I said, if you're in for progression, you might want to just skip to the next part. I know this is probably not the way to like run a YouTube channel, but I just want to be open about it. Other than that, I've been recording videos for about a week now, and I've really enjoyed it. As I said, it's really changing my mindset. I would say I was more of a reserved person in real life, but recording videos makes you like focus in your mental channels that are more spontaneous. It's like things that I might think a second about saying, I just like will blurt out instead. And I think that's okay, as long as what you're saying isn't like horrific, but I think most of the time I'm saying sensible things, and I'm generally like, I feel like I'm a nice person, but others may disagree. Hopefully not my partner though. But yeah, it's just been a different experience. This is dangerous for right now, but that I'll deal with it. It would be a bit embarrassing to die right now, I would also say that. So I hope people have been enjoying the video so far. I've not seen too many comments at the moment, but it's a very early YouTube channel. And I know how people like... Ooh, I should be doing this slightly differently. Moan about the YouTube algorithms and like, it's hard to grow channels from nothing. But I don't mind like where we are at the moment with the channel. I'd like to see a bit of natural growth, and we have been getting okay views in some early videos. Definitely nothing I would complain about. I just want to see where this goes and how I progress, really. But if anyone has like any suggestions of what they'd like to see, then let me know. I'm happy for like game suggestions as well. I said mainly like roguelikes, and I also like how into strategy games. But I'm happy going outside of my comfort zone for games that you just think are better to stream. I'd say a lot of the strategy games are kind of hard to banter on, and I've mentioned this before, because this game is just decision making. It's like, oh, do I want this defense 9 or defense 3? In this case, yes, obviously. But in the case like the helmets before, do I want damage to walls, some regen, and some defense? And before you know it, you're just so engrossed in the game, you sort of forget that you're streaming it, or like recording it for YouTube. Nice level. This is quite nice for what we're doing, suppliers, and another weapon. So yeah, I mean, God. Immediately as I talk about this, the game has already taken me off on a tangent by a little dinging noise going up here and more equipment. I think for now, as I said, our progression at the home base means that we should just, like, I'm not going to say romp through this, but we should be fairly comfortable now. I'd be very disappointed to die before we fought the Act 2 boss. I'm currently holding cards as well for this strategy, the book review, that I'll change items out. But yeah, going back to what I was mentioning before, I'd be happy to take suggestions for games. I can't really reveal one of the games I've got coming, but I am recording a second game right now. But there is currently an embargo on any Let's Plays or streams of it, so I'm just saving them up at the moment. And that is very different from my typical game. I'll say it's a... what's the word for it? Not a picture game. It's like a visual novel, that's the word I'm looking for. With horror themes. And I'm a bit of a PU55Y, so I was a bit concerned like starting a horror game. But I was like, you know what? That'll be quite funny. I've also inserted my face cam on it, so you'll see me at some point. I imagine a lot of the people that watch me right now know me, so they'll be fully aware of what I look like. But it was just to hopefully see some reactions. All the rage right now here on YouTube are reaction videos. But I've been enjoying the game. As I said, it's a very different game than one I would normally play. But it's fun. So yeah, we have that, and then I've got some other games in mind. So I'm thinking in, well, I don't know where this video is actually going to come out in relation to it, but another patch for The Binding of Isaac's going to come out, some more DLC, Repentance, and I'm a bit of a fanboy for that game. It's probably the only game I've ever 100%ed, or like, I think it's 1001% they call it now on Isaac, because there's been so many DLCs to it. And I'm thinking of taking a different stance to this. I think most people will show off like their full playthrough and look at the new items immediately. I think I'm just going to start a fresh card and just see how the mods, not even a mod, how the DLC plays from scratch. Because I know, and I played a lot of my Isaac when Afterbirth Plus came out, and there were some complaints for Afterbirth Plus that a lot of the items that are added are kind of meme items. Like just things that don't give you a real benefit, it's just kind of funny or something. When some runs you're just crying out for a damage up or something, or a tears up item. So I might see how Repentance rebalances this, if it does at all. And try and get a good idea of an experience for a new player playing Isaac. I think that'll be different enough from what most of the other streamers are doing. So I've got that coming up. There's also a Monster Train DLC. I loved some of the deck building games. Slay the Spire, another one of my favourites. And that may also come onto the channel at some point. But I think I'm going to do Monster Train. And again, I might go back to scratch. I didn't ever complete Monster Train like to 100%. I have beaten runs, and I think I got to the equivalent of... I can't remember what it was called. It's like Ascension from Slay the Spire. And I think I was up at like 11 or 12. But I was definitely better with some clans, like the Umbra. And I've heard they're adding a new clan, so that's going to be so exciting to play. I'm looking forward to it. I think they both pop at the end of this month. And man, I'm raring to go in both of them. And then another game I'm thinking of is One Step from Eden. I've never played the game. I completely missed it before. I thought it would look up my street, but I think I was just busy with other things. So I never had the chance to try it, but I think I will try it soon. But I just need to be careful with time. I don't have all the free time in the world just to do these things. Sorry if you heard my phone again, super chill. I forgot to turn my notifications off. What a dummy. But yeah, I have to be a bit careful and selective with the videos I'm going to do on the channel, because I don't have infinite time. I've got quite a big backlog on this. As I record now, I think I'm a week ahead on the schedule, which are once a day at 5 PM if you hadn't noticed. This is BST. Ooh, no. But people I've talked to who have watched it, who admittedly are also my friends, so probably wouldn't tell it to my face, seem to be enjoying the content so far. I've not seen anyone complaining about it, which is a good thing. Just to come back onto the game, I just need to quickly think what I'm going to do with this. I think I'm happy placing Forest for now, and I'll re-roll rocks. So I still have Book Reader deck, and I just want to re-roll these worse environment cards to their better ones. But I have to play it a bit careful because I need to be able to survive. But yeah, we're having no problems right now. Let me just pop this out as well. I quite like the resources on the screen. I'm also doubling the effects of the thickets, and I will double the effect of the mountains. That village is fine where it is. So that's just a general update of what I'm doing on the channel. There'll probably be more roguelites going up, depending on if this embargo changes recently, or it's going to take a bit of a longer time. There might be a chance of seeing a visual novel on the channel soon with my face cam. Also, I guess let me know if you want the face cam in just other games. I figured in Loop Hero there's so much going on the screen that I couldn't really think of anywhere sensible to put it. So I thought I would just leave it off. But if you'd like to see it more in the future, I'm happy to add it. There's no problem with that. I guess all the things I've mentioned with my videos at the moment, as you may have noticed, a lot of them are just play, record, and like upload. I don't do too much editing on my videos. Again, it's more of a time-saving thing. I really want my personality to come across in the videos, and that be part of the reason that you want to watch this channel. I don't really want all these flashy gimmicks. I also don't really have the time to put all the flashy gimmicks in. Maybe if some other things changed in my life, I might try a bit more editing on the videos. But currently one of my best video editing softwares, I've not got a license to it, and I can't really afford just to throw money around buying a full license which would let me do edits in 1080p. Currently I'm restricted to 720, so it's a bit annoying to do any edits. But yeah, if people are enjoying it, obviously then I will put out the money to do that. Yeah, I say that I have been doing this admittedly because I wanted to, but I still want my audience to enjoy what's going on. So feel free to tell me if you think something needs changing, and even if I don't agree, I'll probably definitely look into it or lean into your concepts. I'm just not going to flat out say no. Let's just put this in front of me for now. Things on the run are going fine right now. I think I'll take a bit more vampirism. In terms of other things I guess going on in the world, the inventor of the cassette tape I heard had passed away this last week, which again makes me feel a bit old that some people haven't really seen cassette tapes. I remember early games, I think on the Commodore 64 had cassette games, which were, I guess, my original introduction into gaming. So I owe a lot to the man who made the cassette, I suppose. In terms of music, I don't really listen to much of it, unless it has kind of I don't want to say a theme, but it has to mean something to me. And what I mean by that is if it's linked to a movie, for example, then I'll enjoy it more, because I know that's linked to a movie. And I like the movie. If I don't have this visual stimulus with it, I kind of... Oh, I forgot about that. If I don't have the visual stimulus, normally I kind of forget about the song. I don't know if anyone else gets like that. Is it just me? I don't know. But yeah, back to cassettes. It's amazing to me that so many people haven't used them. They used to be kind of a pain. So noisy, you'd rewind and you could hear it across the house. And if you ever had the bit of tape pull out, that's it. You basically had it. Whatever you were doing is ruined, and it'd be easy to get a new tape. But admittedly, I would say that again, I'm not a big music person, so I don't have these reams of cassette tapes. I do have quite a lot of old ones from original Now cassette tapes. Where it was pop songs from the 90s. Which were obviously okay, but I wouldn't say it was really my jam. Let's put another bookery over here. Again, the game distracts me every so often. I think I'll take raw damage. We have to be grateful for these little inventions. I mentioned it before. Technology isn't changing at such an impressive rate now. I don't think there's ever been an era in time for this. If you think back 100 years ago, which in the whole grand scheme of things obviously isn't that long, and then compare technology now, could you imagine something like the internet back then? we have things of archaeological things like the Rosetta Stone where we can only learn language because of this stone having multiple different texts in multiple different languages on it. But people in the future hopefully won't have that issue because our information is just being stored everywhere. It's also kind of dangerous, I suppose, for just like some people to have that power, because it makes it harder to hide your information. And a lot of people want their privacy. A lot of changes I've noticed being made recently for like information privacy that, again, in the past wasn't really a huge issue. You'd have like these paper trails, but nothing as simple as just like clicking a button and sending swaths of information about you around to other companies. I really want to see what will happen in 100 years' time. Obviously, I'm not going to see what happens in 100 years' time. But even in like, hopefully I can make 50 years' time and just see what advancements we make. I imagine there'll be a big change in energy. At the moment, we're very much moving away from fossils down to more renewables. And the more and more as like renewables get efficient, like more efficient solar panels, for example, and like better ways to make tidal energy and just not cost too much money, then obviously we'll switch from petrol. It'll be the same players as before, I imagine, doing all of this. But just be generally good for the planet, I suppose. But then you see as well computers where in the 60s and 70s you have these massive like computers the size of rooms with like slot cards in them, punching out all these informations, and it's just doing fairly simple, I say fairly simple calculations. It was calculations that enabled us to get onto the moon. But now it's just been miniaturized into like these tiny devices. Just like incredibly small devices. And soon it looks like we're going to have like these circuitry that are flexible, and I just can't believe what we'll start putting computers into. Like it'll just be enclosed, for example. It's just insane. And by insane I mean, I guess in a good way. It's insane that the progress we're making, as I said. Ooh, level 7 sword. Does lose a lot of stats. I'm not quite sure I've decided in this game what I prefer. Just these high raw stats. I had a run quite early on where I did go very high stats, and I think every item we had was a grey item going to the boss, maybe bar 1, and I think we lost it. So since then I've been a bit more like careful about this and like seeing if the stats are better. And I think generally for the most part stats are better. But I don't think they're everything in this game. I'm about to come down to a bookery and I don't really have a good use for this Oblivion. I don't mind these villages, to be honest with you. So I might just let it change. The Vampire Mansion. And I will change this. I'm quite happy to ransack places right now. Ooh, level 6 ring. Yes, please. Well, I guess if in the comments you want to leave like a comment saying what technology you're looking forward to the most, or what predicted technology, it'd be nice to hear from you. As I said in the past video, I'm kind of looking forward to this, where like VR goes, because currently in the moment you're like wearing the mask, and it is obviously somewhat immersive, especially when you're like turning around and you're 360 panning the camera yourself, so it's really good for like horror games, for example. But I really want to get to like a deeper immersion. I mentioned before, I don't think it's going to be anything like the anime Sword Art Online, for example, where you're literally plugged into these systems. But you never know, maybe you will get something like this, where even like sensations will be programmable. For example, you'll be at the beach and you'll feel like a wind on you, even though you're still at home. Or like you'll be able to feel heat. Obviously, then like you don't want to feel pain, because that would be awful for most games, especially this one where we take a lot of damage most of the time. I think it leads to a dangerous problem as well, though, that we're going to have to deal with eventually, of people effectively living lives in an alternate world. We had in the past like talks of games like Second Life where people were like having virtual marriages and like basically keeping their lives up in the game more than in real life, which in a way is sad, but it's people, I guess, trying to give themselves a second chance at life, and you don't really get multiple chances at life, I suppose. In fact, you don't get a second chance at life. No one does. You can, I suppose, change pathways partway through it. That's probably the closest option you have right now. What do I want to do with this grove? Sure, just place it over here. But yeah, I think we'll have situations of people just getting so lost in these worlds that we're just going to have to be very careful about it. Other things that people talk about, like robotics as well, and how advanced AI can become, and what rights like AI should have, and so on. Again, really interesting topics. Might not be a really super chill thing to start talking about them in here, I've got to admit. It's just like things to think about in the future. Because, man, I'd love myself a robot. Well, like with everything that seems to be invented, we eventually try to have sex with it. So, not saying I'm waiting on the sex robots, but I know they're coming, and probably have come already. Giggity. This is kind of an annoying little battle right now, but we're dealing with it okay. We've got a lot of potions, let's not worry about it too much. But just getting peppered by this scorch worm. Place down some more rivers. And yeah, let's go to the bottom. I've picked up another bookery. I'm just like throwing these down right now. Should be a bit more careful about them because they are going to spawn the worst enemy we've come across at the moment, I think the tome. Although that might now be the enchanted armor, or whatever it was called. Animated armor. He was also pretty horrible. So I think I'm just going to place this one after the start go. This ability to swap cards, though, I feel like is extremely strong. Hence why I'm still like playing the concept. And I think especially on these runs where we plan on going longer, we can really put down good environmental tiles. So let's complete our 3x3 mountain. Excellent. And we have another temporal beacon that I'll place up here. Excellent. I finished this row of meadows right now. The river's going to have to come all the way up here. So it doesn't leave me too much space to place these. I guess I'll place these on the inside of this corner now. And I'll keep the river going. I'm not weaving it back and forth this time because I'm not turning half of them into oases, by the way. Because I haven't got desert in this deck. One thing I kind of want to watch actually is how good the Watchers loot is. And I don't think it's great, I'm not going to lie. As I said, the best loot fountain I found are these flesh columns, but they're so dangerous in Act 3. Like, I've come a crop to them now, I think, in multiple rows. And it's so dangerous that, as I said, I think I'm considering removing them from the deck from now on. Because you can't afford to take like 800 HP damage on the final run. The only other alternative, I guess, is to Oblivion them eventually when you are coming towards your late game. But then Oblivions show up so infrequently that you can't really plan for it. And normally you have better Oblivion targets. This is just a lot more HP and some counter. Yeah, sure. As I said, I've still not watched any other people really play this. It was a bit unfortunate early on that the first video, I'd played the first hour of the game already because of the recording not working, but since then, we've gone into each episode blind. So I've not been looking online like, what's the best synergy to do this? This is all self-discovered, and it's quite an enjoyable way to play the game. I'd say generally outside of things, I normally play the games to a point and then just like search everything up. But I've really not felt it for this game. I'm going to take Awakened Fragment just because I want resources. Ooh, level 8 Helms. Again, I think this is worth it going up just for the stats, even though retaliation damage isn't a great stat, I think. But you really don't want to be being hit. And this shield is just generally good up. But yeah, this is where I think the Warrior excels compared to the other two. I'm not really worrying about my stats too much I've not gone in with a great build. I'm kind of going for this damage to all again, even though I don't have it right now. But I think at some point I'll pick up some great damage to all, and then we'll just start flying. And just start cleaving all these enemies. This helmet also helps the damage to all synergy, I suppose. Just because each enemy hits us and then takes a big chunk of damage. But as I said, I don't really want to be face tanking right now. Ooh, level 8 ring. Trades off of vampirism. We've got quite a lot of counter right now. And our attack speed is plus 60. Yeah, sure. I guess the other way around it is just to attack super quickly and just kill everything as fast as is humanly possible. This is just better than the armor we've got. So that's an easy decision and another river. But yeah, I hope people have been enjoying Loop Hero. I hope maybe I've also inspired some people to get the game. It's a really fun game. And there might be people, admit, in the same situation as I was, where you're like, oh, I don't want to watch someone else playing the game because I'm playing it right now. So if people are coming back to, like, maybe watch this series, having played the game before, it'd be quite interesting to know how your playthroughs are different to mine. Like, were there certain synergies you found that I haven't seen, for example? I mean, one of the ones I would talk about, and I might look at in the future, is Swamp. I've just found no good use case for Swamp. Like, every character, except the Necromancer, has easy ways to gain HP. And even the Necromancer can gain HP through, I think, regen and restoration. So it just seems kind of pointless. I don't know what the benefit is. There's a lot of tiles in this game that have a benefit and then get worse. So for example, that blacksmith thing I had last time, where it swapped 5 pieces of armor, gave you a buff, but spawned this really pain in the ass enemy. There's a lot of that in this game, and I think that's a really fun way to balance games, where not everything is just a straight up benefit. There is like a downside, and you're just trying to like make the best of the downsides as well. But I think the Swamp might be the opposite. It just feels like it's just a downside, and there's no benefit from it. The other one I would say which was like that was Desert and Sand Dunes. Losing HP when we have like a percentile of HP, that is. When we're the most HP enemy we're probably going to see most runs. Strikes me as kind of like more self-destructing. For a symmetrical effect, it feels like it affects us more than anything else. I think I'm going to trade these meadows away. I'm just not interested in them right now. And I think I'm going to place another bookery down. More rivers and more meadows, okay. So yeah, but we found with Desert that there is a synergy. And it's with River to turn Oases, which are then an attack speed down for us and the enemies. But it's only half as much for us. Which seems like a fairly decent deal. That being said, I am thinking about it. Would I put that into my deck normally? Maybe not. I'm just trying to think of better ways to place this right now. It's kind of annoying with the Storm Temples that they can't just go roadsides. I guess I don't know why. So this now river is doubling a burned forest for magic damage. Another stat that we're not 100% certain how great it is. It could be the bee's knees. We don't know. So Watchers are going to spawn there. I'm not too bothered. That was a good trade for us as well. And another mountain. And another river. And some thickets. I should really have noticed that. I shouldn't have placed the thicket here. I should have used a meadow. But it's fine. It's a super chill episode. I'm not going to worry about misplace this time. Just general conversation. So, early on today I had a Subway for lunch. It is a great lunch. I don't know what other people get for their orders. I'm always getting the meatball sub. I think it's like the best bang for your buck, even though it's a bit more expensive. It is a delicious meal. And on that, you have to get gherkins as one of your toppings. I know this might be like a bit of a spicy choice, but the richness of like the tomato sauce and the meatballs being cut by something really acidic is a flavour combination like I really love. I also like to put like some peppers on there. I used to put jalapenos on, but like I get like stomach issues sometimes, so I'm steering clear of them for now. But definitely great choice to have them on. And then sometimes I just want something a bit crisp and refreshing. So sometimes I have a cucumber on as well. And then like, as I said, peppers and lettuce, and that's job's done. You don't need any more sauces on that. I know people like put loads of sauces on it, but the sandwich gets too wet then if you're doing that. In my opinion. Where's our little guy anyway? Where's our next butchery? Round here. I will use some meadows. We do need to pick up health at some point. I guess I'm stopping my rocks there. I don't know why I placed this thicket here, I'm not going to lie. I think I just threw it down mid-conversation and was like, yeah, sure. That's fine. Let's not worry about that in the future. Let's place it here. And a cemetery. I quite like placing the cemetery around. They give us a resource. And I don't feel like they ever get too difficult for us to deal with. That being said, we have to be slightly careful where we place them. We can get skeleton archers at least on Act 3. I don't think I've ever seen it on Act 2 though. But it becomes a difficult fight later in the game, and they do hit pretty hard. But right now we started to pick up damage to all now. We have 9, which isn't a lot, but still, for these enemies which only have like 60 HP, by the time we've killed one of them, we're like most of the way through killing another one, so... As I said, I feel like it's extremely strong, damage to all, for the most part, until you get the boss. Most games like this, I would say, you really want to make your synergy around beating the boss, and I think that is kind of true in this game. I do normally switch my synergy as I get to the boss. Oh, I say that we're not going to discover something, but I don't think we've ever seen mixed nuts before. 2 max HP for every point of defense the hero has. That's not bad, actually. It doesn't really move the needle that much, but it definitely moves the needle some. So we now got a line of blooming meadows down here. A river is slowly coming around the map, which is fine. And then ruins. Just need to be a bit careful where we place the ruins. I think I'll place it here. Invariably we get to a point where the day passes just as we pass it and they hit us from far away. But I feel like, and I don't know what's really backing this up, it's kind of a gut feeling. I think the Scorchworms don't give great loot, but they give pretty good XP, and it's a pretty easy fight for the most part. I don't think I've ever had a situation where I've gone, oh god, I don't really want to fight those Scorchworms over there. We're normally pretty comfortable by that point. Just trying to think where I want to put this as well. Probably here. I wouldn't mind picking up a Blood Grove, actually. This tile is horrible right now, but it's going to become a count's land eventually. As I said, I think I couldn't get away with something like this in Act 3 right now. But for now, I think we can. I mean, what's crazy actually about Subway is, I mean, this was times pre-COVID, which I hope everyone's dealing with as well as they can do right now. Obviously difficult times for everyone. But I remember like walking home from work one day and just like popping into Subway, because sometimes like if you've worked 9 to 5 and maybe you've not really stopped for lunch, you're starving when you're coming home, and it's like the thought of making a meal, it's a real turn off, to be honest with you. But so we stopped into like this Subway on the way home. I'm so super chilled I didn't even notice I was spawning the boss. I think we'll be fine, but I will definitely now take some attack speed, please. It would be quite funny for a super chill just to suddenly die, but yeah, I come into the Subway and there's a guy in front of me getting a Subway. Fine, obviously. But his choice of sandwich was like ham, cheese and tomato ketchup. Like, why would you go to Subway and get such a bog standard sandwich? I think it was on Italian as well. Like, you could just knock that out at home for like half the cost. At least on a meatball, I feel like I'm like getting some effort into the meal at least. I'm going to take damage to all off for now. It's not that important for us in this fight. I would like a Blood Grove. Yeah, what are people's choices of Subway? That'd be interesting to see in the comment section. Do people have a better sub than the meatball sub? If I can't get meatball sub, I normally go chicken teriyaki. But it's such a downgrade in my opinion. Oh, that's a lot of damage to all. I might equip this after I fight the boss, assuming I can beat the boss. I'm gonna fight with the Watcher. And yeah, let's do it. Hello, Priestess again. Yep, I'm not stopping. Let's hope we don't just suddenly die. We have 4 potions to help with this fight. And Storm Temple should be helping us. I'm not sure why our archers aren't helping us, actually. We are taking a lot of damage right now, I have to admit, and we only have 1 potion left. I don't think Odin is helping us right now. I think he's hindering us. I think we found this out before. Oh my god. We should win on the revive. Yeah, we win on the revive. Just need to remember we don't have that revive right now. So, I'm not going to take the resource assortment because I want to go longer into this. So on a hit, the hero can summon a Blood Lightning with Mysterious Chance. Upon each building, hero gets 8 loop experience, that seems pretty good. Receives 1 stained glass charge, which can protect him with 20% chance, 3 stained glass max. So I think I've just picked up HP as well when I go past. I think I'm going to take this and just try and like get as many skills as I can. And we're staying this time. Let's place more rivers down. I'm so happy that we can place rivers here. And where can I put spider cocoons? I mean, there's nowhere that really benefits. This is where the bookery is quite nice, actually, because we could just throw these cards away right now. And we are going to throw them away. So here are our crossbowmen helping us now that we don't need them. But I guess it's helpful anyway. Right, so this weapon attacks me counter evasion. I think I will take 11 damage to all and a damage downgrade just to help us with these fights. And throw some more mountains down. We're at a point now where I think I'll throw some forests on this inside tile as well, just to help make blooming meadows. And yeah, and I wasn't worried about that at all. We can go back to our super chill episodes. Oh, a blood growth that is now no longer needed for the boss battle. I'm not going to lie, my confidence is knocked a little bit, and we've just picked up another weird thing. Rare book. +1 defense for every card in player's hand. That seems incredible. Because you could just fill your hands going into the boss. I definitely want to keep that. I hope this Orb of Immortality also counts. I think we're going to, if we can loop around, we can drop it off at the base. I just don't want to lose some of this stuff, but I definitely want to loop for longer. We're not picking up that much stuff right now. Right, Blood Grove, where it's going to be the most useful. Here, help me fight this horrible goblin situation we have down here. And I need some heals right now. Please. Please kill them faster. I'm just a bit worried at the moment for the flesh goblins, although we haven't spawned them on this loop so far. Let me just mountain around this. So we're getting double the HP off each of these. I think that's worth it. I feel like our HP is actually pretty high for how much we've completed of the map. And I would like to hold on to these forests for now. Try and pick up some more Bolivians, I suppose. Yeah, we seem to be doing okay now. As you might expect, the boss was harder than the average mob on this game. Here are all our blood growths and a level up. I guess one of the reasons the boss was hard, not only is that Storm Temple doesn't actually really help you in that fight as this character, which I have learned in the past. I like Storm Temple. Oh, resource cap up, yes please. Oh, and some Oblivions. Right, where are these bookeries that I've been placing just willy-nilly? 9, 16, 12, 12. I think I Oblivion the Goblin Camp. I think that is one of the most dangerous tiles for us right now. And these thickets, I think we'll start placing up here. Probably should place it around here, actually, so that it hits the river sooner. Don't mind about the village, we can deal with them. And we have another blood growth. Don't put it there because it'll be a hungry one, put it there. And then let's get some cemeteries round. I don't feel under as much pressure anymore. I don't think I'm going to place down the forest. My damage is 29 to 43. I think I will take the vampirism over the retaliation damage. As I said, retaliation isn't too proactively good for us. Not terrible, but not amazing. We've downed all our potions now. So from here on out, it's up to us to deal with everything. I can't really put a meadow there, so I'm just going to use another forest, I think. Ooh, more oblivions. Let's get rid of the bandit camp. I kind of feel like I should get rid of this bookery, but I think, and I'm hoping that an oblivion shows up before then. Temporal beacon. Where are the vampires? At the top of the map. Let's speed up time up here. Again, speeding up time in this game, I don't think I've really used to the best of my advantages. It's kind of hard though to find the benefit. It's another one of those situations where symmetrical effects aren't really beneficial. Because we're speeding up time for the enemies as well, so they're attacking quicker. And at least on this character, the only real benefit to attacking quicker is vampirism. I guess and damage to all. I can see it on the rogue where if you attack more frequently, you're more likely to hit like counters and stuff. Other than that, we're really just using it for the day effect. Just heal more frequently. I think I need damage to all right now. It's important to me. It's literally more than half my damage to all. And where do I want these spiders to go? Maybe I'll just swap them out. I don't really know what cards I'm looking for at the moment. Villages actually aren't too bad. Where would I place a village to gain the best advantage? Again, it's kind of a situation where I would like to zombify it immediately. One thing I haven't actually tried is to put another vampire mansion next to a count's land. I suspect it would do nothing, but just something that we should bear in mind, I guess. Let us place this up here then. Keep filling up mountains. Another goblin camp, that's fine, we'll deal with it, and I'll keep placing some meadows on this inside. I don't know what I think about meadows in this deck. I feel like you do need the sustain. I think I kind of undervalue it. Ooh, that was a big trade. And just see it as like, it's just 3 extra heal per day. Just like get vampirism. But I probably should stop thinking like that. It might be more important than I think. So we now have 2 ransacked villages up there, but that should be fine for us. And I like the shield. And we picked up an oblivion. Let's get rid of that goblin camp immediately. I don't know what I hate more, the goblin camp or the bookeries. And that bookery is now hitting a point where if I get one more oblivion, I will oblivion that. That is my next on the agenda. Gross. We still have tiles to place these down, but I don't know. I feel like last time we leaked around a lot, we had so many enemies on every tile that eventually we just became too dangerous and we did have to leave. So, I don't know, maybe we hold out for villages since we have the bookeries. And I don't mind about these ones too much. These we can deal with quite fine. That being said, I'm dropping incredibly low and I just died. Well, super chill. I wasn't really paying attention to my health. That's kind of annoying. So I think I'm going to use the 2 skulls because I do actually want these items. We got some more time shards, which I think was for beating the boss. Again, I should really pay attention to these things as they come through. Let's retreat. Well, we've picked up a lot of wood. But I really would want like some more stone. Oops. Do I come into Act 1 and just like throw this stuff around? I guess it's going to be a super chill of the future. We did get a lot of metal at least. I've only got 1 orb of mortality now, which is kind of annoying. I guess we just have to be more careful in the future. I was hoping to pick up 3 just to have 1 backup. We could head back into... You know what? We might do another super chill episode very soon after this one. But I think I'm going to cut it there for now and get some more food. It's been a few hours since I've had my Subway sandwich. If you've been enjoying the videos, then, as I said, let me know. If you think there's anything that should be changed on the channel, let me know. I've given you an idea of what I want to do going forwards. If you think there's anything else that can improve it, as I said, constructive criticism is always welcome. Destructive criticism, just going, hey, you, what a cunt, is not helpful, because I can't really take that forwards. But anything else other than that, I will look into. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode, or the next Super Chill episode. Goodbye.